Hey folks, Concierge Crystal here, doing a little Facebook Live at the entryway to Beach and Windmark Beach. This is kind of in between. It's kind of what I like to call Cape View. You have the tip of the peninsula out there that you can see. This is an excellent and unique place to come shelling, actually, because it's kind of cool. It's in between the Gulf, it's in between the bay, it's right here at the mouth. So it really offers a lot of different shelling. You can find whelks out here a lot of times, and there's definitely different ways that you can check those out. Here's a little broken bit of Scotch bonnet, actually, so that would have been really cool when it was big on its own. Got a couple of different lines for shelling out here too. We've got a low line here for this tide, and you've got a higher tide line, then you got your mean tide line. And those are really good after a good storm, actually. That's where you tend to find really cool stuff like mucuna seeds and, oh, banded tulip shells with nothing in it. Let's check. Okay, so if you didn't know, something that you should know is that you can actually hear when these little guys are in there. So be brave, give it a try. If you're not sure if there's a crab in it or not, because let's face it, sometimes they get pretty far back in there. And then you get them home and your treasures are crawling all over the backseat of your car. So one of the things you can do is actually stick your ear up to it. If there's a crab in there, he's just gonna back down in there. But you'll hear little snap, crackle, pop noises, and that's kind of how you know he's in there. Especially if it just came out of the water. It's actually just air and water bubbling out of him. But this is empty and it's a keeper. So let's see what else we got out here today. Be a good steward. Every now and then, you know, you'll have a little random piece of something that might have floated up from a boat or a beach party or whatever, and my theory is you can pick up a shell, pick up that random little piece you may see out there. So we've got coquinas down here, crossbands, pieces of sand dollar. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, here's a channel duck. That's very cool. Channel ducks are hard to find. They're hard to find while they're whole. This is a very thin and fragile shell, but they're one of my favorites, actually. Some people call them elephant ears. Hello, birds. Of course, the seagulls like to walk with you on the beach, too. All kinds of cool stuff. Here's a really bright coquina. There's usually a lot of purple on the insides of them. Pretty neat. All right, we got all kinds of stuff down here. This is an olive shell, and if you notice, this olive shell is very shiny. Have you ever been at somebody's house and you saw a really shiny shell and you were like, oh, how did you get it that way? And they were like, oh, I didn't do anything. Well, they didn't, because a shell is an exoskeleton. So when that mussel first comes out of there, it stays very, very shiny. It is actually water, wind, sand, and you know, the sun that will eventually wear these shells down to a duller finish. So as you can see, a lot of them are. So this one's definitely something fresh versus something that doesn't look very slick and is kind of dull. It's been floating around for a bit. So we're gonna take that. We got a lot of bright colored coquinas. Gorgeous day to walk. Oh, we got a starfish here. Very cool. Now these spiralidae-like starfish, they're really neat to look at. But they don't keep as well as some of our other starfish we have. They have a softer exoskeleton. We've done quite a bit to try, and they usually end up falling apart. But they are beautiful to look at, and they're really great to photograph. Look at picture pieces. Here is a Sunray Venus. It's just one side, but it's one of my favorite little bivalves. It's usually pretty purple and pink looking. A lot of little stuff in this little cluster. Lots of coquinas today. Those are one of my favorites. These are something really fun to do craft projects with. I mean, you can see they kind of look like little butterflies. So, you know, work with that. You know, if you have a daughter, she really loves butterflies, you could take a picture frame from your time at the beach and, you know, decorate them around the picture frame and remind her that time she was down here. Or any part of your family. Some of the cooler shells are actually found in the mix of, you know, a lot of little things, and people don't always know what to do with those little shells, but they're so fun. And coquinas all have different colors. They're very different in their color and their pattern scheme. Let's take a break. Let's sit down here. There's always shells somewhere, no matter where you sit, to the left, to the right. It's really beautiful out here. These waters in Windmark Beach and in St. Joe Beach are very, very kid-friendly. They're very pet-friendly. As you can see, the water usually just kind of laps in. There's not usually, you know, a big rough surf here. And the water's pretty shallow. You can see several different sandbars out there and areas where the water just kind of stays consistently shallow. So it's good for like your little dogs who are a little afraid of those big waves. Or, you know, if you're worried about your kids getting swept away somewhere, this is definitely an awesome place to bring them. And not to mention, we've got all these great shells. Let's keep checking some of that out. Lots of cool stuff here. There's another part of this is a part of a channel duck, but it's a smooth channel duck. It's just broken. There's actually a difference between the regular channel ducks and the smooth ones. Some of them have ridges, some of them don't. It's cool little things. Guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in and checking us out, seeing what we can find on the beach today. Oh, here's a beautiful little cockle shell. They're usually pretty colorful and yellow and orange. They're also one of my favorites. And this one's kind of plaid looking even. I love to see the different patterns on the coquinas. They are definitely one of my favorites. But you know, there's a lot of places you can come shell in Gulf County. And you know, it's always going to be the same every day. Today there's a lot of really good shells out, but the tide's just right, and you know, fate played in my favor. And it's a beautiful day and there's lots of shells, but the tides can move things in, it can move things out. You can literally walk that line and turn around in 15 minutes and come back and the shells aren't necessarily there. So it's just all about tides and weather and, you know, when it's meant to come kind of thing. So if you're really out to go shelling and you get down to a beach and you don't see much and you notice the tides are hard, you know, try somewhere else. There's a whole lot of beaches around. Lots of opportunity and places to do that here. So if you guys have any more questions on like shelling or anything, or you want to ask where some good places are, or tips about doing some crafts or anything, contact us in the Concierge team at the Adventure Center. If you go to visitgulf.com and you go to the bottom page there, you'll see a tab that says Concierge, and you just click on it, and one of us will get you in contact and get you on a good shelling adventure, or just whatever it is you're out to look for. So I'm going to continue shelling a little bit. It's absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I think it's about time for my lunch break. So I'm just going to keep on my journey. Thanks for following, guys. Y'all have a good one.